please like and subscribe and click the bell icon to get new video updates.
Lee Gillette never stood at a microphone. He never took credit. Most fans never knew his name. But if you love the sound of Nat King Cole's voice, you've been listening to Lee Gillette's work all along. Gillette just wasn't producing records. He was shaping a vocal identity. Lee Gillette was one of Capitol Records' key producers in the 1940s and 50s. Unlike modern producers who build tracks from the ground up, Lee came from the old school A&R tradition. His job was part talent scout, part musical director, and part psychologist. And with Nat King Cole, he became something even more important. And Nat and Lee's partnership lasted nearly Nat's entire Capitol Records career, pretty much a long-term relationship in the music industry. Now, Lee Gillette was born Leland James Gillette in Indianapolis, Indiana. Now, Gillette was raised in Peoria, Illinois, and then in Chicago in the 1920s, he began singing and playing drums in local bands, alongside his good friend Ken Nelson. Now, Ken Nelson later on wound up working for Capitol Records. He was part of the country music division, and they had formed this vocal trio called the Campus Kids, and he joined the orchestra for a radio show, Flipper McGee and Molly. And in 1939, he moved to Hollywood, where he met Glenn Wallix. And Glenn Wallix, he recorded the show, and then Gillette went back to Chicago to work in radio. But after Wallix co-founded Capitol Records in 1942, Lee went back to California to head its country music artists and repertoire, which is called A&R. Now, during the early years of Nat being at Capitol Records with the trio, the first set of recordings were started in November 30th, 1943. But at that time, Johnny Mercer was credited as the producer. Now, when Gillette started working with the King Cole trio, they were already known for their tight swinging jazz. Lee pretty much didn't interfere much. He understood the magic of the interaction, the piano, guitar, and stand-up bass, and Nat's relaxed vocal style. So what did he do? He kept the production clean and intimate. No heavy orchestrations, no distractions. He let Nat sound like he was sitting in your living room. That intimacy became the signature, and Lee made sure Capitol's recordings, that intimacy became a signature, and Gillette made sure Capitol's recordings preserved it. Here's where Gillette's vision really changed Nat's career. Nat didn't start out trying to be a full-time singer. He basically was a jazz pianist first. But Lee recognized something crucial. Nat's voice had emotional clarity that cut deeper than other flashy singers. So Lee gradually shifted the spotlight. More vocal-focused arrangements. Songs that were chosen with warmth rather than technical showpieces. This wasn't an overnight change. It was careful repositioning of Nat King Cole as a vocal storyteller, and the audiences responded in a big way. Once Nat became a vocal star, Lee Gillette helped usher in the orchestra era. This is where the arrangers like Nelson Riddle, Gordon Jenkins, and later Ralph Carmichael came into the picture. But here's the key. Those arrangers wrote the charts. Lee decided how the charts would frame Nat's voice. He was kind of like a film director choosing the lighting for a close-up. Too much orchestra? Nat disappears. Too little? The record doesn't feel grand enough. Lee Gillette's genius was keeping the arrangements lush without ever overpowering Nat's gentle baritone voice. When people talk about the Capitol Records sound, they often mean the echo chambers, the orchestra, and the polishedness of the recordings. But with Nat King Cole, they defined an element that was always the voice. Lee Gillette made sure everything else served that voice, never competing with it. That's why those recordings are still timeless today. Not trendy, not overdone, just human. So the next time you hear Nat King Cole sing a ballad and it feels like he's just singing to you, there was a man in the control booth who helped make it feel that way. Lee Gillette just didn't produce records. He basically helped shape one of the most recognizable vocal sounds in music history. And also, Nat and Lee had a closeness, a great friendship that went on for over 20 years. So when Nat passed away in 1965, Lee Gillette took it pretty hard losing his friend. Hope you enjoyed this deep dive into the people behind the music. Make sure you like and subscribe and join me here on King Cole 1965 for all things Nat King Cole and more as we continue exploring the stories behind the sound. I'm Danny Lamar Evans, and I'll see you in the next video.
Master, 12,954, take 2. I'm sorry, hold it.
Oh, no.
The guitar, when you pick up the piano. Ready? 15,897, take 1.
Ready? Here we go.
Here we go. 51,205, take 70.